Hey everyone, Saturday morning. I don't plan on doing anything to the house, mostly because I don't know what to do next. But I do have something to do today. This is Matt Craig, everybody. Matt Craig.
Hey everybody, I'm on
the applause in the background.
Yeah, I am the husband of the real YouTuber Sarah Craig of Open Gate Farmstead, and I forgot my microphone stand today to have Lucas on Craigcast. So, 3-inch pipe, little block, and a nice Blue Yeti mic.
That's perfect. So you're not probably familiar with Craigcast, but it is a podcast that Matt's been doing for a while now. I would say you have 12, 13 episodes? 16 episodes. He talks to local people, business owners, realtors.
Not artists. What's the name of someone who writes a book? Author. I think there's a lot of interesting people all over, and I want to talk to them.
So this week, we're going to talk to me. So
we're going to talk to me.
We're going to talk to me. And I don't really know where it's going to go. So anyways, if you're interested in that sort of thing, you're going to probably learn a little bit about me that you didn't know, I'm assuming. There will be links in the description of this video where you can check out his podcast. And then if you're also interested, you can check out the YouTube channel that they run. It's called Open Gate Farmstead. They put out videos not very often enough. No, they're pretty good about once a week. And it's all about their farm in upstate New York and the trials and tribulations that go along with running one of those.
Cheers, everybody, and welcome to 1806 Stonehouse's new video.
Bring 'em out, ayy. Bring 'em out, ayy.
We're a 14-acre farmstead, and we raise pigs, chickens, ducks, rabbits, Nigerian dwarf, and geese. We bought this house when it was basically raw land with a shell of a house on. We've been renovating the house, building outbuildings, and taking care of our animals.
I built this.
And for those of you who don't know, we run a channel called
Open Gate Farmstead.
We're located in the mountains of northern New York, and we're focusing on doing a homestead fixer-upper while establishing our very first farm, basically. We've never done construction. We've never had farm animals.
We're working really hard at becoming completely off-grid. That's the dream. Right now, we're running off solar power, and then we're also, as you can see, capturing every single drop we can, doing our part to hopefully keep all the water in the system, use all our resources to our best ability. We hope you can take the time to check out our channel and see all things Open Gate, animals, reconstruction. For those of you who don't know, Lucas is my older brother. I would say Lucas and I are cut from the same cloth, except for I'm a little bit more disorganized. I'm usually covered in animal poop. A big thank you to Lucas for letting us pop in, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this 1806 Stonehouse video.
Hey everyone, what you're about to listen to is just a small segment of the podcast. Though it was a lot of fun, I went into it completely not prepared. I don't talk about myself. I don't talk about my achievements often. These things, these memories, these stories are not fresh in my mind. I need to give you full disclosure that I didn't give Sarah hardly any credit where credit is due. You know, I can't re-record the podcast, but I can try to make it right. And just let everybody know that listens to it that she has been a huge support of me, and none of this would be possible without her help. I feel horrible for leaving her out. It's not fair to her, and it's not right for me to talk about our history that we've done together and claim it as just my own. If I'm talking about myself, I am talking about her at the same time. All I can try to do is learn from this experience that it's not about me. It's always about us. And it always will be about us. I hope you enjoy the podcast if you listen to it. And thanks for being a part of this, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me on episode 18 of Craigcast. This week, I am here with Lucas Manning.
Hello.
He is the proprietor and main renovation expert for his 1806 Stone House. He's a prior restaurant owner. He works for the feds, and he is a wonderful father.
There you go.
And he's my brother-in-law.
I feel like we're done here.
Yeah. So that's the whole story. Lucas, how you doing today?
Pretty excited, to be
Is
honest.
Is this your first podcast you've been on?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me the path of how you ran your own cafe. Like, you were pretty young.
Yeah.
I just know you did it when you were young and sold it. So bring me to...
Like how that all happened?
Like, bring me to college. Bring me
Sure.
to wherever you were in that time in your life.
The actual story is my mom one day, she was working at the bank too. She called me and said, the cafe's for sale on Main Street. I said, oh yeah? Like, okay. Thanks for letting me know. And she showed me the newspaper clipping, and it was an interesting situation. You know, like the business was going out of business. They were looking for someone to simply take over the loan. The loan was actually from like a private college. It was a weird situation. The courses I did well in college were business type courses, but before this I had no business experience.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a degree, and I didn't, but I just read it, and I think I read that article 50 times. I call them up, and I just kind of said, what's the story here? Would you do this with anybody? You know what I mean? Like, I have no experience.
Yeah.
I have no money. And it was just like the perfect deal. I'll tell you the exact deal. All the equipment was there. Everything was there except for the food. And it was all set up. All I had to do was take over the loan. $6,000. I had to just take over this loan that was zero interest.
$6,000 a month? Or
No,
that's what you owe?
$6,000 total.
Wow.
Was what was owed.
Wow.
I signed one piece of paper. You're a business owner.
And was it a lease on the building? Were you just the owner?
No, the lease was separate. I did have to kind of appease the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of prove to him somehow that this 22-year-old kid was going to pay the rent on time. The rent was cheap on Main Street. It was like $500.
Yeah.
Or $450. It was.
I feel like it's better to start a life in like the North Country and in a less populated area because like everything's a little bit cheaper and it's not like
Everything's a lot cheaper, I think.
Yeah, and it's not like the cost of living. Like you, obviously, there's not a ton of people making $200,000 up here, but
No.
it's so much cheaper.
You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
You make $50,000 around here, you're pretty set.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to go out and buy like a snowmobile, a four-wheeler, a nice house, a camp, then you just like anything, you're going to be deaded out. But I guess I appeased the landlord. I signed a lease, 1-year lease.
Mm-hmm.
I took over the loan, $6,000. And the hard part was next where I had to get money to buy my first food order. It's like you can't open a restaurant without that. That was the hard part. I mean, I talked to some big food vendors, and they do give you terms.
Mm-hmm.
So I only had to give them $500 or something to open the account. And then I was able to make my first food order, which was thousands. You had nothing. I didn't even have salt and pepper.
How much is it to fill up a restaurant that size? Like to fill up, like just round numbers. Like there's not a single item of food in there.
Food? It was probably somewhere around like $2,200 to $2,700. I bet you. I mean, I gave them the $500, then they let me get the rest on credit, which is like usually a net 30 kind of term.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, well, how hard is that going to be, dude?
Yeah.
I'll open up, I'll sell some stuff, make some money,
pay him back.
and pay them back. And it oddly worked out, but it was a terrible plan. It was a terrible plan. I had zero experience with this sort of thing.
Did you like to cook? Did you like?
There was a time in my life that I liked to bake, but no. I have a vivid memory of my very first customer. So picture this, right? The restaurant was below Main Street. It was an awesome place. It had a stone wall and like a brick wall fireplace.
You're just drawn to the stone.
It's this long, skinny thing, and so people would come down from Main Street and they'd walk through, and it was bagels and soups and salads and wraps and sandwiches. It was pretty low key. And this guy walks in. He had no idea that we just opened. He had no idea that he was my first customer. And I remember saying, like, "You're my first customer." I'm all me. I'm just how I am.
Yeah.
Like, woo, And I'm like, I'm going to put the dollar up on the wall, and I'm talking to him, and And then he's like, can I get, he's just like, I want a bagel, man. I just want a bagel.
Yeah, like, don't bother me with
Can I get a plain bagel with cream? And then I have a memory of it. First bagel, I remember like toasting and like, I didn't practice. There was no practice. So I'm like, oh, right. And like cutting the bagel, I'm like putting it in this like commercial toaster. And then it comes down like, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to put some cream cheese. How much cream cheese do I put on this thing? I don't know. I'm like, is this good? And he's like, yeah, that's good. And then, so I made it through, I got it. And then he goes to pay. I'm so excited. First dollar. I'm going to put it on the wall.
Did you have change in the register?
Pays with his debit card. I did have change in the register. Right. I was prepped for that.
Yeah.
But he pays with his debit card. And I'm so sad. So I still have that dollar and it's framed, but it's like total...
It's not the real dollar. It's like, did you just take $1 out of the register and put it up on the wall?
Sadly, yes. I should have at least taken the second dollar.
Yeah.